Well, welcome along to this preview of the Property Investor Show Spring Edition, taking place at London Excel on the 19th and 20th of April. And for this preview, we are turning our spotlight onto HMOs, and specifically the HMO zone, which is one of the featured zones at the show this year. Joining me to discuss all the benefits of attending the show, I've got two very prominent members of the HMO community and also show ambassadors. I'm joined by Helen and Matt. So welcome, guys. And Helen, I guess I'll come to you first. Just give us a little very quick introduction to yourself and what you do in the HMO space.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Vanessa. So really pleased to be involved in this. The HMO community is my world. As you can see with the logos behind me, I represent Coho. We have the HMO Awards, which is one of our brands, an event that's happening in May later on this year. Now, Coho is all about helping the HMO community thrive. So what we want to do is we're very passionate about helping investors make the most out of their HMO investors, tenants getting a great experience from their managers. So yeah, Coho, first and foremost, we're designed to help property managers manage HMO property portfolios efficiently. So, we have experienced the HMO community grow. There's a bit of a trend at the moment, and as it grows, we want it to evolve well. We want everybody to make the most out of this this opportunity, really. So that's me. That's why I'm interested in HMOs.
Well, hear to what you said, Helen. And Matt, how about you? What's your role in the HMO world?
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you so much for having me here to talk about the Property Investor Show. My background is as an HMO landlord and developer. I've been in HMO since 2015, and one of the key parts of kind of my progression through property is that I did some training, did some learning, which really helped me to kind of get it started, and I wouldn't have done it without that. And I got busy, and I bought a few HMOs, 5 beds, 6 beds, and then quickly realised that we wanted to do the best of the on the market style properties in the top 5% of our marketplace. And we started doing it, and it became known as co-living, as I suppose a label for it, where it was good quality design, good quality spaces, but also we would want to make sure we had a good quality level of service, which is why we use apps like Coho, for example. In terms of being involved at the Property Investors Show, we just want to showcase what's possible when you start to do things differently.
Well, that's wonderful. You're both very passionate about education and increasing standards and landlord education, because better landlords give tenants a better experience of private renting. And that really does kind of chime into the whole theme of the Property Investor Show. It's a free to attend event. And it's all about education, networking, and just diving in and taking advantage of everything that's on offer at the show. So, Helen, why do you think it's so important for people to take a day out of their business to go and attend a show such as the Property Investor Show?
Yeah, I think in business, any business, it's really important to get yourself out there, get yourself exposed, get some perspective of what's happening right now, and get inspiration. There's going to be some of the best professionals, most progressive thinkers in HMOs that have been doing it, walking the walk for a long time. And why would you miss out on that? I think it's really important to be there and show up, meet people, and get inspired, and take those ideas back to your business, not just to learn, but actually put them in practice. And then if you meet meaningful people, you never know who you're going to meet that might help you move your business along. And for me, it's about thinking about the next steps, right? You've got to where you are. You may well be successful for where you are, but think about what's next. What are your growth plans? How are you going to achieve those? How are you going to scale your business? And yeah, that's what Coco can help you with, but along with other very prolific investors and successful HMO investors and mentors like Matt Baker here as well.
Oh, so Matt, we all talk about, you know, the HMO community, and there's a very strong online community, but it's still important to go offline and meet people face to face, isn't it? Because so much about being in property is building rapport and relationships and networking. And as Helen said, I think being inspired, I think that's such an important thing. And sometimes, you know, it's good to get away from the computer and indeed the Zoom screen and go and, you know, sit with people and have a coffee.
Yeah, well, 100%, you know, it's the original networking, you know, online networking and feeling safe behind a computer screen is exactly that. It's your comfort zone, whereas, you know, the magic happens when you start to expand your comfort zone. And you do that by getting out there, as Helen said, by speaking to people. And you know what, the great thing about the Property Investor Show is that you can wander around and not talk to anyone. You kind of take it all in and then gradually ease yourself in and chat to somebody, and then you get into your flow. Or you just go, you know, just for the maybe the more introverted, the extroverted people just go straight, you know, straight to exactly what they want. And you say, this is what I'm looking for. How can you help me? Whether that's a letting agent, an investment, you know, bank, you know, a trainer, a mentor, or apps, or furniture suppliers, you know, all the different types of people that are going to be at the Property Investor Show itself. So, but you know, that property is a people business. I know it's a cliche, but it is. And deals get done when you sit down with people. You know, when you're looking to raise finance, you know, you're looking at, you got 500,000 on the table. You go and meet them. You make the effort, and you go for lunch. Yeah, it's
But I
like
think it ignites serendipity, doesn't it? Because
yes,
you don't know who's going to be there, and you don't know who you might be able to talk to. And there are people out there with many, many years experience, like yourselves, who are happy to share. And you can just pick up one golden nugget, and that can change the course of your business, possibly your life. I think the show, it's very much like a barometer of what's going on in the property world and all the new products and services that are coming out. It's very important, I think, because landlords do tend to work a little bit in isolation, to go and have almost like a refresher or a reset session at the show, because that's really what it's there for.
I would absolutely say that to add to this, it might feel a little bit intimidating, you know, if you're going on your own, perhaps bring a team member, you know, bring a partner. But actually, if you've got a bit of an idea of like what you are looking for, you can do a little bit of research and perhaps even bring somebody along. You know, I see a lot of people that, you know, kind of want to meet somebody. They've been following them online for some time, and perhaps reach out to them and see if they're about. They could be exhibiting, they could be speaking at the show. But, you know, if you've got some kind of a plan, that could also make your day very productive, because you can get a bit lost actually when there's so many different exhibitions. But, you know, if you've got intention, then, you know, you're more likely to have a successful day, because that's what you're there for. You don't want to waste your, you know, a couple of days, you know, just wandering around. Make it purposeful.
the great thing again about the Property Investor Show is that it's like on the Friday, you know, a lot of people who are maybe not in property so much are at work. So you get a lot of property professionals, a lot of people that are maybe, look, as you talked about, Vanessa, there, looking to just touch base with the industry and find out what's going on, you know, what, you know, how have things changed, and it's a great opportunity to get that information, that knowledge, and maybe learn about new strategies that you hadn't employed before. So maybe buy to let investors, looking at HMOs, or, you know, or looking at other things like supported living and things like service accommodation, all these different strategies, and just going and kind of getting a sense and a flavour of it all. But then on the Saturday, you get, you know, everybody, you know, coming from people just going, what is this property thing about? And going, is this for me? Can I see myself getting into it? And, you know, my view is that property is for anybody, as long as you have the right head on your shoulders. And you know, once you have the opportunity to see what's out there, then as I said, you know, the world is your oyster.
No, I completely agree. And, you know, there's everything there from tax to finance to property management. And we've also got these zones which I think are a very positive addition to the show. We've got the Holiday Cottage Handbook live zone for short-term lets and holiday lets, and obviously we've got the HMO zone as well, which you guys are kind of the ambassadors for, and you'll be there in that zone so people
Yep.
can, you know, come and see you. But
Absolutely.
you know, what's happening in the HMO space at the moment? And Matt, do you think there is a lot of opportunity there?
Oh, 100%. You know, the last couple of years have been a little bit slow for us personally as investors and developers, because we've seen house prices skyrocket, we've seen build costs skyrocket. In the last year, it started to settle, but now we're in a bit of a cost of living crisis. You know, we've got interest rates that are high, and you know, some people are experiencing it more than others. But in terms of house prices, they are dropping. They're coming down. They're coming down to more realistic levels, and vendors are more motivated to sell if they have to. So what we're seeing is a lot more opportunity. I'm getting deals across my desk all the time now. I don't have enough time to go through them all, to be fair. So as opportunities, and right now is a fantastic time to upskill yourself so that you can take advantage of these opportunities to build those relationships with you know, sources of deals, estate agents, sourcing agents, etc., and really start to get a pipeline of which is going to align with your strategy. And if you're not sure what your strategy is, that's why you have to be at the Property Investor Show.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Helen, you know, we talk about the HMO zone, and it is really niching down onto this very specific strategy. And I just think that's so helpful to anybody that really wants to dive in and immerse themselves in the whole kind of idea of HMOs, because you can go into one area of the show and just everything is there to help you be successful in the HMO space.
Yeah. 100%. And I think with HMOs, like we talk about it as a niche, as a strategy, there is so much more to think about, you know, the regulatory requirements, how to set up a HMO so that it benefits from the optimum amount of opportunity that is available, you know, the fast growth nature of a HMO, you know, one property, you're talking about 5-6 bedrooms and upwards, right? So, you know, obviously my background is all about the software. It's all about efficiency, creating those sort of better experiences for everybody. That is to support, obviously, the fast growth nature of HMOs, but also the complexities. You've got experts at the HMO zone that will, you know, I find within the HMO sector, I don't know if it's because it's considered a smaller sector, it's quite closely knit. And I don't think that in any area of the property industry where people are so collaborative, and I think that's because the need for knowledge, the need for shared experience and learning quickly to really stand out and make the most out of your portfolio and your business strategy has brought people together to share. You know, there's plenty of opportunities, right? There's not so much fighting space for it. Really, I think the competition is about how do we stand out. You've got your HMOs, but then you've got the how do we optimize the opportunity. And yeah, and I think the expertise there will open your eyes and shine light onto things that you may have not considered as important factors to help you progress seamlessly. I'm going to say it's never going to be straightforward, right? But if you've got some advice and you've got some support around you, you've got your tribe around you, you're more likely to overcome those, you know, obstacles that will come to help you become more successful and quickly.
And I would say, Matt, that, you know, learning and growing and education, it's actually a risk mitigation strategy, isn't it? Because if you educate yourself and you use other people's hindsight as your foresight, which you can do when you meet somebody that's very experienced, you can take all their lessons on board. It does actually help you mitigate risk, hopefully avoid the pitfalls, and therefore maybe grow, you know, more sustainably.
Yeah, exactly. I've made mistakes in the past so that you don't have to. That's kind of one of the things that we say. because we've evolved, and which is why sometimes our clients exceed what we've achieved, because we've given them a formula that works, which they can go rinse and repeat and create some amazing properties which stand out from the crowd, and that get some fantastic rents, whereby you're still creating an affordable solution in the housing market, in what is probably the biggest growth sector in the housing market in general, shared living, because of how many people are coming to that as a housing solution, whether it's downsizing from flats, or because actually, we do have people downsizing from flats who are the older generations and go, I can't afford this, or I've split up and I'm going to go back into shared accommodation, but I don't want to live in something rubbish. And you've also got the youngsters who are starting to get out of university, living with home, they want to start to get independent, so they're moving into properties, and they're seeing what is the good, the bad, and the ugly of the market. So it is a growing market. We've seen a 12% increase in rents over the last year. So it has ranged over the last kind of 12 months from 16% growth, 17% growth, 12% growth quarter on quarter. So it's outstripping buy-to-lets by quite a long way as a niche. But as a niche, we house probably about 3 million people, which is about 5% of the UK's population. So it's a niche which needs recognition, which is why I've got the HMO zone. It needs representation, which is why I'm part of groups like the HMO Council Tax Reform Group, where we got an amazing win for the for HMO landlords in general. And people need to know about it. So come along to the Property Investor Show and come and talk to us.
Well, that's awesome. So thank you both very much for joining me to really highlight and preview the HMO zone at the Property Investor Show. Let us just remind you that it is the 19th and 20th of April at London Excel. It is free to attend.